Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga. It is October 5th, 2021. And we're going to start lying on the floor, supine, with your knees bent and up on a chair or a brick or a something. This is my current favorite way to start the practice. And Kathy has a few. You may want to put something under your head, like a few washcloths, and just stay here. I'm going to go up on the Cadillac and do the same thing as you're doing. Seven minutes.
Yeah, but it started when I woke up. Well, yes, you need to make a decision. No, I don't think you should. Oh. That's what you go to a concert for, and then you don't. Thought? Hmm.
Stay where you are and move your head slowly to the right and to the left. Cervical spinal rotation. Finish up, come back to center. And make a figure 8 with your nose or an infinity sign. Reverse. Come back to center. Vagus nerve reset. Don't move anything but your eyeballs. And you can have your hands, bent elbows behind your head if you'd like. Or you can be on a set of therapy balls. Move your eyeballs to the right without moving anything else. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs, only your eyeballs to the left. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center and repeat this 2 more sets, right, left, without my cueing at your own speed, in your own time frame. And come on back, finish up. Now we're going to do head ramping. And here you can also place something under your head. You can place your interlaced, bent elbows, interlaced fingers. You can place therapy balls. You can place a sponge ball. What I want you to do not drop your chin. Press the occipital ridge, the back of your skull, into the floor or into the balls, whatever you have. Press. The chin will drop because you did this. If you drop your chin only, you'll lose the movement at the occipital ridge, which is the primary movement. And then just do that about 5 more times. Press back of the balls. Make sure that if you have therapy balls, make sure they're not at the curvature. They're up high at the occipital ridge. Not at the curvature of the cervical spine. And they may start to move down towards the curve, and then you'll just have to adjust them. Whenever you're finished, bring yourself down off of the chair or the block. I have a philo box. Bring yourself off of that and get a block and a strap. We're going to do some hip and pelvic releases using the blocks. They're supine. It's going to look like windshield wipers, but you're going to add a block between your thighs and later a strap. So lying on your back, bent knees, feet on the floor, a thick brick between your knees. Feet down. Now you're just going to roll your hips side to side, squeezing on the brick, releasing the hips and the pelvis 6 times. And then change the brick. Change the width of the brick so that it's a narrower width. No, let's see, a thicker width. Yeah, wider. There, side to side. Windshield wipers. Opening the hips. So you're lying on your back. Your feet are on the floor. Pressing on the brick. And then go ahead and remove the brick and put a strap around your thighs up by your knees, and cinch it tight. If you order a strap for yourself, if you don't have one, I like the ones that are the U. Instead of the buckles, I like the U. I don't know what they're called, but it looks like a U, 2 U's. Okay, cinch it tight. This time you're going to do essentially windshield wipers while you're pressing outward. So you're pressing outward into the strap and doing windshield wipers. Feet are on the floor. Strap around the thighs up near the knees. Just back and forth. Pressing out into the strap. And whenever you're finished, remove the strap. Have 2 bricks beside you, near you. We're going to do, often I do the figure 4, which is a hip release, but I'm going to do a progression to show you how you can progress with hips. So lie on your back and bring your right knee forward towards your chest. Let's see, bend your both knees. Start with both knees bent and the feet on the floor. Bring your right knee towards your face, and then cross your right ankle over your left. This is the basic figure 4. We're going to be here for 30 seconds at each of the levels. If you can't do a level, return to the previous level. This is the basic level. Basic figure 4 hip stretch. The next level is to put the left foot on a brick, a thick brick. You can see this, each of them is going to open the hip a little more. So put your left foot on the brick and then bring your right leg up across, figure 4. Or maybe it's already there, sorry. And 30 seconds, just feeling the difference, feeling the progression, if you can. And then breathing, just opening the hip a little more, especially maybe I notice it more on the right. Okay, progression number 3 is to put another brick on top of the first brick. So your foot is even higher, and see what that's like. Figure 4. You may want to move your right knee, push your right knee out a little bit or not. Maybe you've gone too far or gone far enough already, but you could use your right hand to push your right knee out a little bit. So 2 bricks. See if you can put your entire left foot on the brick. Okay, we're going to stay there. This time you're going to dorsiflex your left foot. So the dorsiflexion is the toes toward the nose. So 2 bricks plus dorsiflexion. So you should get more hip opener you should start feeling this on the right, you guys, feeling the progression. If it's too much for you, you can come back down to a previous level. Or you could try doing dorsiflexion with one brick, for instance. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is hold on to the left thigh, the back of the thigh with your fingers and pull your leg forward. Your leg is going to come up off the brick. Pull your leg forward. And I'm going to put the timer on. Whoops, I lost the timer. Okay, just pulling the left knee in by putting your hands around the back of the thigh. Remember, if you can't do this, do something earlier than this. You may want to put your right elbow into the right thigh to get a little more resistance there. The next thing you're going to do is hold on to the shin. So the hands hold on to the front of the leg instead of behind the thigh. This is the last one. This is the last progression.
Good.
Can you feel the changes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're much more intense as we go.
As we go. And so this is one way you can wake up the thigh and open it up. Start small and build up. Figure 4, hip opening progressions. Okay, switch sides, everybody. Have your 2 bricks nearby. But starting out on the floor with a figure 4, the left ankle on front of the right knee. If you want to, you can push on the left knee, push it out a little bit, or not. 30 seconds. Just so you get a feel for the progression. You could spend more time at each point if you had more time. This is sort of a gentle way to build up to it, the most intense opener. Okay, number 2, 1 brick under the right foot. Same shape. Remember, you could push your left knee away with your left hand, or your right hand, actually. Okay, 2 bricks. Starting to feel the opening, the progression. So these are also, you can see these are modifications or adaptations. So if we're ever doing a figure 4 that you can't do, you could change to one of these. You could modify or adapt or move it up, pump it up. Next, dorsiflex your foot, 2 bricks plus dorsiflexion. Right foot towards right face, towards the face. Okay, the next thing is going to be holding onto the back of the thigh and pulling the knee towards the face. Mhm. That's an increase, that's a progression. The last one is to hold on to the shin, the top, the front of the knee, instead of behind the thigh. Some people may not be able to reach there, then you stay with the thigh. And open it up, breathe in and open it up. Okay. Okay, come on, let's see. Come up to standing. We're going to do the 6-point foot release. And the first point, so you're going to use the half round. We're going to stay for, let's say for 30 seconds instead of 40, because we have some other things to do today. The first point is up in front of the metatarsal mound. This is going to go faster today. We're going to do 30 seconds. Next point's the middle of the foot. The next one is in front of the calcaneus. On the edge of the calcaneus. So remember, you can do any of these, and you should try this at home with the little black rad ball also. Number 4, back up to the center and then to the outside edge of the foot. Find your own place along the outside edge. Experiment with your own foot. Next, inside edge of the foot. The last one is up on the left side of the foot, above, just below the big toe mound. So as Caitlin mentioned, there's a little insert that came with your balls. There's some other suggestions there. This is a really good resource. I love the Neuro balls. I haven't played around as much with the little black ball. Okay, walk around, see if you notice a difference between the right foot and the left. And if you do notice the difference, just remember it. Remember the difference, so that these assessments are help you be motivated to continue this work. Okay, position number 1. Up in the middle at the top, near the metatarsal pad. We're running along, the first 3 run along the plantar arch. If you have plantar fasciitis, this will help help treat that and prevent that. Prevent an, a flare up. Middle. This is the easiest one in the middle. Below the middle, on the way to the calcaneus, in front of the calcaneus. You can try to put it in the middle of the calcaneus if you want. That's where the red ball is in the insert picture, but the calcaneus is a really, it's a muscle that doesn't move very much, or maybe it's a bone that doesn't move very much. I think it's a bone. It's a bone that does not move very much. So, but it does move a little. So if you put your ball at the middle of the calcaneus, it might move those tissues a little bit. And go ahead and go to the number 4, which is the outside edge of the foot, middle of the foot. Come up to the middle, go to the outside. inside edge of the middle of the foot. Stay at the middle, go to the inside edge. Find your best place. There's several places there that might want your attention. And the last one is above that, just below the big toe mound. And that's the end of that. Go ahead and walk around, both feet, neuro ball treated. See what you think. You can also purchase Neuroball insole, not Naboso insoles, and wear them, and they will also awaken the nerve endings in the bottom of the feet. That's it was one of the first products that Naboso had. Okay, now we're going to start at the top of your mat and walk backwards, and then turn around and walk backwards again. I just came across this video from Z Health, which is a source that I highly respect for movement. It's not yoga, but it's movement. And they have found or done some research, go ahead and walk backwards, that says that walking backwards is good for releasing the lower back. Because, the lower back, the whole body is used to walking forward. And this dislodges that. And go ahead and do it a couple more times. And just know that you could do this anywhere, right? You could do this just as you have you have to feel safe. So be sure that you don't have anything behind you that you could run into. Walking backwards releases the lower back. A simple trick. Do one more set. Don't fall down, you guys. And go ahead, and we're going to do the standing at the wall spine twist, and we're going to do a side bend because we haven't done those yet. I usually do those floor seated, and then I do them sometimes at the wall, but I think they're an important part of any practice. So standing with your right hip at the wall. We're not going to do the back bend. We'll catch the back bend later on the floor. Standing with your right hip at the wall, right foot forward, left foot back. And then bend your elbows and rotate to the right. We're going to time this for 40 seconds because this is a bone building pose. And I want to be here long enough for you to build bone. It doesn't start, the bone building part doesn't start until after 12 seconds. And come on back, untangle and go to the other side, left hip against the wall, left foot forward, right leg back, and rotate for a left spinal twist to the left. And slowly untangle yourself from that. Get a brick and stand with your right shoulder at the wall, near the wall, and your right foot on the brick. We're going to do a side bend. It's called, Jill Miller calls it boomerang. A side bend at the wall. Cross your ankles. And then jut your left hip out to the outside, and your arm comes up and over. So let's check in your inside arm. I think you're going to need a little more space between your wall and the brick, so you have room for your arm to be down a little farther. Yes, like that. More like that. Is your arm behind you? It should be right at your waist.
Okay.
So there, now the arm comes up and over. The ankles are crossed. And then you're taking the top arm and bend the fingers go down to try to say hello to the bottom arm. Actually, so that's about the shape of it. I think I hope I did a good job of explaining that. If you have some questions, talk to me in the chat. The top arm is up and over, and you can have your elbow up higher if you can, Kathy. Or not.
High as it goes.
That's as high it goes. Okay. And if you want to add something, you can pull your hands apart as if you're spreading paint on the wall. That just adds a little dimension to the shoulder work you're doing. Back bend at side bend of the wall. Switch sides. Let's the back of Kathy now. Cross your ankles. Jut your outside hip to the outside. And bring your top arm up and over. As best you can. If it feels unstable to be on the brick, you can be on the floor. Okay, last thing, I want you to get down on your mat, at the top of your mat, just seated with your knees bent. This I got from my masseuse. He says that because of my 1978 surgery, my sacrum is tight. Now, your sacrum may not be tight. You know, you in some ways you have to explore this in a class. I can't in a classroom setting determine whether your sacrum is tight, but I'm going to show you this exercise. And if your sacrum is tight, it might be one of the contributing factors to your lower back issues. You're going to sit, Kathy, sit facing the other end of the mat, because we're going to crawl on your butt. Basically, that's the best way I can describe this. Bend your knees. Your knees are up. Your knees are up. Your feet are out in front of you. You're going to crawl on your butt to the other end of the mat. That's basically what one hip at it, you know, do one. It's a one and then the other. Yeah, it's use your legs, and use your hips. So, Kathy's never done this before. So it's like, and so it's an experiment for everybody. Go to one end and then you can actually stay. You don't have to turn around. You can back up. So this movement of the hip, the pelvis, and hits the sacrum, opens the sacrum. I recommend you do this. It's crawling on your butt, basically. And see if this helps, especially if you have lower back issues, like I know Catherine does. No, Kathleen. Okay, crawling, do one more set. Crawling forward, crawling backward. Easy peasy. Maybe a little awkward. Tell your friends, what's happening, Cobra? You're standing up. When I can see Cobra, Parvin in the mirror, in the thing, standing up, I know for sure she's not doing this.
That's exactly where I have pain.
Okay, are you trying this or no?
I have pain in exactly my tailbone.
Okay, can you do this sort of thing or no?
I can go forward, but I cannot come backward.
Well, that's okay. I would recommend that you try forward then.
That's harder than it looks.
I
I have a question. Do you have to do it with your knees up, or can you do it with your knees straight out or legs straight out?
Well, my masseuse told it to me. But maybe not so much, not as bent as Kathy's were, maybe a little bit longer, just a little bit up. Maybe that, if that's easier for you, try it and see. I'll ask him. I'll ask him what he thinks about the legs being more extended. Is it easier for you to do it that way, Caitlin?
Yes, I cannot do it bent like Kathy's at all.
Sure.
So it's more difficult. This is easier.
It's, are your legs out a little farther now?
Yeah.
Kat? Okay, so, okay. So there you go. And that may be what he was talking about, is legs farther out. I try to do it. I'm going to try to do it for a while because, well, obviously he prescribed this for me. He said, this is the simplest thing you can do. And it's going to open up. He said, your lower back, because I had surgery in a long time ago, but still, anyway, but he said it's for anybody who has lower back, sacrum issues that tighten, sacrum that's tightened, it can, this can be addressed that. So there you are, the new trick of the day. Well, no, walking backwards also. Two new tricks today. Both of them fairly easy to do. Let's lie on your stomach for the prone back extension. Let me see if I can remember the airplane today, just for fun. Or maybe Kathy can scream at me or not scream at me, but remind me. You're lying on your belly, your arms are at your side. Remember that if you can't do the airplane, you can stay at this level. Take an inhale to prepare and an exhale. Lift your arms, your head, drop your chin a little bit, Kathy. And we're going to time this. And just stay here and breathe. And maybe if you want to, you can lift your chest up a little bit higher. See if that works for you. Stay here as long as you can. You can come down early if you need to. This is great for strengthening the muscles along the upper back, which actually helps with lower back issues. And go ahead and take an inhale to prepare and then an exhale and bring everything down. Now we're going to go into airplane. Bringing your arms out. Well, first we'll go up without the airplane and then we'll come into airplane. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, bring everything up. Arms, chest, cervical spine. And stay here. And then take an inhale. And then an exhale and bring your arms out into airplane. And stay here if you can. You can come down and come out of this if you need to, or come out of it into the straight arm at the hips position, the original position. And if you want to, if you have it in you, you can lift your chest a little higher. And just stay here and breathe. And inhale to prepare and an exhale to come all the way down. And take a breath. Feel grateful for that. Bring your arms out into a T again, along the floor this time. For one of my favorite thoracic upper back releases. Look to the right, bring your right leg up and over and behind, and just know that you may not be able to do as much as Kathy's doing. And that's okay. The idea is to keep the chest, armpits, arms on the floor. You should feel the release in the upper back, even though this looks like it might be a hip exercise. And slowly come out of this. Go to the other side. Look left. Left leg comes up and behind the right leg. And stay here and breathe. Keep the armpits, the chest, everything else flat on the floor. This is also a thoracic spine twist. And come on back. And go to the other side again. Look right. Right leg lifts. And comes back behind the other leg. You know, you can do anything you want here. You can bend your knee. You can try to drop your foot to the floor. You can do ankle circles. Use your imagination. Last one. Come on back. Look left. Left leg up and back behind the other leg. Keep your armpits on the floor. Okay, come on back. Find your way onto your back. You could even bend your knees and put your legs up on a box. This is going to be Yoga Nidra, 61-point guided meditation. Get ready for that. I want you to feel warm and safe. Beginning with your breath, just breathing in and out and observing your abdomen as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. And now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows. center of your throat. Right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, left elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This concludes the 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you and start to wiggle and stretch. Bring your arms overhead by your ears or as close to your ears so you can get them. And stretch and wiggle right side, left side, both sides. Trying to create a little more space between your pelvis and your rib cage. And wiggle your fingers and your toes. And make circles with your wrists and your ankles. And reverse your direction. Reverse your direction. Then go ahead and hug your right knee to your chest. And then hug your left knee to your chest. Hug both knees to your chest and rock your knees from side to side. And then whenever you're ready, roll all the way over to the right, to one side or the other, let's say, depending on where you're facing. And then stay here. I want you to stay here. Just take a minute to thank yourself for bringing yourself to the class. And I thank you for coming to the class. We all thank you for coming to the class, sharing this practice with us. Bring yourself up to a floor seated position. I'm going to remove the spotlight. And I'm going to put my view on gallery view. You can do that for yourself. You can unmute yourself. And bring your hands together at your heart. Press your hands together first. And then release that. Soften your prayer pose. Soften your hands. And then lift your occipital ridge up away from your shoulders so that you can slide, nod, bow, the skull only, not the spine. The spine stays straight. The skull is nodding over C1. just nodding and bowing and noticing and knowing that each of us is a light. There's a light within each of us. And then noticing that we're all one light. And we're going to close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
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 Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
And before I close the class, since we just finished a month, I just want to thank the people who gave me donations this month. I really appreciate it. I know the class is free, but I also accept donations and joyfully and gratefully accept donations. Thank you, everyone, for the donations you gave last month. Let's go ahead and close the class and we'll